Hello and welcome to Category Historical Romance A to Z. Today we're going to be talking about Lord Darlington's Darling by Gayle Buck. This is a Signet Regency romance that was released in January of 2002. It is a standalone set in the Regency period. The primary tropes are London season, starchy lord, shy heroine, and the content warnings are sexual assault that is off-page. The pitch. Lord Darlington, Marquis of Thursgood, became the Marquis at 15 when his useless gambler father kicked the bucket. Darlington scrambled to keep his family from ruin, and as a result has become an impeccably dressed, very responsible young lord lacking in any humor. His teenage sister, Bethany, has caught the attention of a Wickham-esque scoundrel, Mr. Farnham. In order to protect Bethany, Darlington decides to give her a season in London, far away from Farnham. Abby Fairchild is a quiet, sweet, and chronically conflict-avoidant young woman. Her sister and sister's husband, Mrs. and Mr. Crocker, are pushing Abby to accept the suit of the deeply boring Lord Fielding, which Abby goes along with without much protest, until she crosses paths with Lord Darlington at a dance. Suddenly, Abby is in the middle of a love triangle, and her new bosom pal, Bethany, is dragging Abby into even more mess, as Farnham has followed Bethany to London. Abby doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, ever, and suddenly she's going to have to. Alright, so diving in further, something I found very interesting about some of these category-length Regency romances is how much they are pulling from Austen. Side note, I have yet to read Georgette Heyer, so I can't speak to how much influence she had on these, though I imagine quite a bit. Take this set of observations with a grain of salt. While there is a central love story with a happy ending, the focus is split across multiple storylines. In fact, what drives the conflict more than the love triangle between Abby, Fielding, and Darlington is Bethany's relationship with Farnham. Bethany browbeats Abby into being a correspondent between her and Farnham, a task that Abby finds increasingly uncomfortable, but her disposition makes taking action difficult. She's also helping Bethany while keeping her involvement from Darlington, who thinks Abby is the purest, sweetest soul, who could never do anything wrong. The entire third act, which I adored, features Abby taking action to actually stop Farnham's machinations, with delightfully farcical results. Another Austen element I noticed was the humor. Austen had an attitude towards her characters that I would describe as well-meaning condescension. She found them mostly silly, but still cared about them. That was the energy I felt Buck had toward this cast. The reader is supposed to be annoyed that Abby refuses to have a spine, but rejoice when she finally does. Mr. Crocker despises that Darlington is both a well-dressed dandy and emotionally intense. Frankly, his attitude reminded me of how people talked about, quote, metrosexuals in the early 2000s, but he does support Abby's growing independence, and even tells Darlington that he misjudged him in the third act. Obviously, I mentioned Wickham from Pride and Prejudice for a reason. He's a man entirely too grown actively pursuing a teenager, and Buck does not shy away from how that would turn out and be distasteful to a modern reader, hence the content warning. He does get a far more satisfying comeuppance than Wickham, which I will not spoil. I will say, though, that it brought me a lot of joy. So, is it worth a shot? Honestly, I had a lot of fun with this. It was well-paced, lighthearted, and cute. I know I didn't talk about them much as a couple, but Darlington and Abby are adorable together. It's fun to watch them fall in love over the course of the season, and there are enough external tensions to keep things interesting. If you want a quick, upbeat, steam-free Regency, kisses only in this one, Lord Darlington's Darling is a good time.